Cris.
Hi, Fabienne.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Is that mic on? No. This one right here. Raise your...
Hello.
All right. There you go.
How are you?
Yes, we're great. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
You're up here.
This is my favorite event.
Is
so this is kind of curriculum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Who are you?
I am Cris Sgrott-Wheedleton with OrganizingManiacs.com outside of Washington, D.C.
And this is your second year in cabs.
This is my second year in cabs and my second mindset. And from the moment I met you, I was just like, where do I go next?
Yeah.
I stopped at one of your tour stops. I had no idea who you were. I was just very intrigued by the whole energy that you had. And I thought, hey, she sounds like fun. And I could learn more marketing. Why not? So,
take us back to, what is it, about a little more than a year now?
Yeah, it's like it's about a year and a half now.
Yeah. So what was your business like back then?
I had a great business. I was doing multiple six figures. I had several people on my team. By any and all standards, I felt like I was running a good business. Mm-hmm. But I was like, what the hell? There's got to be a better way to do this. And funny enough, at the time, I had told my husband, I'm going back to graduate school, and I'm going to get a master's degree in business because I feel like that's what I need to learn to take my business to the next level. Mm-hmm. And
what would that have cost, by the way?
I think it would have cost between $80,000 and $100,000. Okay, and he said to me, if you do that, you better find another husband. So I was like, well, okay. Other options, please? So you came from the universe at the right time.
To save your marriage?
To save my marriage and my business.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But you wanted to learn some business things to do it better.
I think my problem is I'm a total education junkie, kind of like Tracy. I don't have multiple degrees from MIT, but I knew enough that she's my friend. And I knew enough that I knew that I had basically used all of my organic learning tools and that I needed something that was more comprehensive, something that was more structured. And I know that we don't necessarily appreciate the curriculum like we should, but that is the thing that keeps us together.
So let me tell you the joke, is that they all tell you that the curriculum is so kick butt, but the problem is the community is so far ahead of anything else that it's like all the great other stuff is pales in comparison. Yeah. That's what you always say. That's why it's the inner joke. So if you want to be in the inner circle, you say, oh, and I like the curriculum too, Fabienne. The stuff I bust my butt over.
I know. we never want to offend. She's a Leo. So yeah, the curriculum, I needed structured. So when I came into cabs, I literally, and I was telling this story at one of the other stops, that I was like the person with the shelf of shame, right? I'm sure you all have that. You go to all of these trainings, all of these seminars, and you come home and you have a book that you learn and you took all these great notes. And then the first step is you put it next to your desk. And then you look at it for like weeks and weeks, and then you think like, oh, I'm going to implement that one thing. But then you get really busy doing other things, and then you don't. And then like a couple of months later, you start kicking the binder now because you're angry. And you didn't know you were angry, but you're just kicking it.
Because you didn't implement.
Because you didn't implement anything, and you felt like, oh, I totally wasted my money. And then 5 months from now, you're like, just put that on the shelf, and then another thing comes up, and you register for it, and the whole cycle starts all over again, right? And I was tired of doing that. So when I came into cabs, I was like, this is not going to happen to me. And the curriculum provides that sort of structure, and the meetings provide that sort of structure. And like, Joe is my buddy now, and Tracy was my buddy before. And we talk every day, and we talk about what I'm working on and how I'm going to get my business to the next level.
And at the meetings, you get what you're going to do over the next 90 days.
Yes.
And
strategy.
Strategy. And what have you been able to accomplish in your business, Cris, in this year and a half that you've been with us.
It's
because of your implementation.
Yeah, I mean, so I always like to preface this by saying, don't kid yourself. It's a lot of hard work, right?
Yes,
I wear
it's
pretty
work.
shoes and I look like I'm having a good time, but I work very hard a lot. But in my first year in cabs, I doubled my business. So remember, it was a multiple six-figure business. And as of July, I had already done as much business as I had done last year. So I'm pretty close on track to doubling my business again.
Second year.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
Tell me about the relationships and what they mean to you.
I wish you guys could have been backstage just a minute ago. I'm gonna try not to cry because, I feel like I've met so many amazing people that I could literally just pick up the phone at any time and just say, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, help me out. But we were holding hands in backstage and just reminding ourselves of like the community that we are, right? And where do you find that? I mean, I have owned a business for almost 8 years, and I had never seen that before. And honestly, I know we like the curriculum, but that is the reason why we truly succeed.
Yeah.
I wake up every day and, like I said before, I used to talk to Tracy and now I talk to Joe. And like I look forward to that call and sometimes he kicks my butt and sometimes I kick his butt. And we just but I don't take it personal. I'm like, he's totally there for my best interest.
Yep.
And I'm like moving the process along and I'm like, okay, what am I going to work on today that takes my business to the next level?
Yeah. Would you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're thinking about it and if you're thinking like, oh, I'll wait until next year, I'll ask you one question. How much money are you making today and how much money could you be making next year?
Pays for itself.
Yes.
Yes. Give her a hand, please.